Danielle, thanks so much for being here. It's always a pleasure having you on our news show. Now, on Friday, you came out with an interesting story, and a really great story, about two twins who have received money in scholarships. Can you give us a quick overview of the story?
Yeah, absolutely. So the two sisters, the Gill sisters, Nadia and Amira, they had a bit of a soccer career as youths, particularly Nadia. So she had a lot of publicly available information that stated who her parents were, that stated a lot of information about where she came from, what she called her hometown. So as I was looking through this story, we got a tip about two sisters who had been claiming Inuit identity who may not have been Inuit. And while I was in the middle of researching this, the Nunavut Tugnavik Inc. actually announced that they would be looking into these two further membership based on possible fraudulent claims. So it's a very interesting story. There's a lot of detail in it, but I've just brushed the surface here.
Well, as you just mentioned in the report, you mentioned the sisters have had membership with NTI. Can you tell us what we know so far about that?
Yeah, so far we know for sure that the sisters appeared on a voting roll for 2020 as voting members outside of Nunavut. According to sources, the woman who was the reason that they had membership. Her name is Kitty Noah, and she is a disabled Inuk woman. One of the sources, Barbara, spoke with her in Iqaluit, or knew her from Iqaluit. Of course, they were dealing with often quite small communities where everybody knows everybody, and so I think that's an important element to the story, is that a lot of people didn't know these sisters or know who their parents were, which is what really raised questions to begin with.
Well, so with this story, what's been the response so far?
We did get a response from the Canadian Council for Aboriginal Business, and they are currently investigating. We have not yet heard back from Inspire. I hope that we do. I'm very curious if they gave the money on the basis of the Nunavut membership, or if there was something else, or if there was self-declaration. That doesn't appear to be the case in their policies, but there's still a lot of questions. With these sort of things, I think we hope to see more information coming out as people become aware of the story.
And Danielle, last one for you here. What's next here with this story?
I think in this sort of story as well, we expect to see some changes. This isn't the first story that we've had on people claiming Indigenous identity, and so what I think we have not seen yet, but I hope to see, is more information from the organizations. Hydro One, for example, RBC, they all gave scholarships to Amira Gill based on claims of Inuit identity. So we haven't seen a response from them, but I would like to. And I think it's also important that they tell the community what they're going to do to make sure that the money gets to the right people and the people who are truly in need, and like us Indigenous people.
Danielle, that's a great point, and again, your story is really interesting and compelling, so thanks so much for coming on and giving us a little update.
Thank you. Yeah, I would definitely encourage reading it online. There's a lot to cover.